I was going to ask you, I know you've played the Challenger Tour, and obviously there's some divide now, but if you could shine us some insights on people who, I'm sure there are a lot of fans out there who only follow on the Platinum events and don't really realize the entertainment behind the Challenger Tour events. I particularly like them. I think it's something so raw about playing on the traditional courts, and it's such a dogfight out there. And yeah, just if you could shine us some insights, maybe some things that you don't really like about the Challenger Tour or anything outside of the Platinum events that maybe the audience don't really know about and the brutalities behind it.
This I could name quite a bit that I dislike.
Go for it.
I think foremost, being honest, the stuff that players would agree with this is, I guess, some events it's deemed not as professional. Like it feels like it's not professional. There's a few factors and things that happen that you just like, that shouldn't happen. That should be a non-negotiable. Perfect example, I've played 15Ks in the past couple of months, and the one event, up until probably semis, that loser of every match had to referee. And you've got a 15K event where you had the Deck James number one seed, and then players reffing other players. And someone from another sport walking in thinking, what on earth is going here? Like 15K standard, you're having top 70, maybe someone even 50, 40 potentially. Imagine that in tennis, like someone just walking in and into a big stadium and seeing another 50 in the world rank ref another player. And it was just like, I was fuming about that how there's some stuff that still just goes on. And, I try and change it. I try and email in. I don't email in often, sorry, but I did this time, and there didn't really seem much push for it to change.
What was the feedback what was the response when you emailed them?
They agreed, and they were like, yeah, we are trying to be more professional and cut stuff out, but we do understand that because it's an extra cost for the event to put on if they provide referees, which I was like, okay, but that's a factor. If they can't do that, then sadly maybe the event doesn't go on, because like, again, a lot of these factors, what happens is the players are getting the gist of this, like something that's bad happening, it's always affecting the players, where the players are the foremost front of it. So then a few weeks later, we got an email that it was supposed to be two referees at a PSA event. One pulled out, which was fair enough. It was a late cancellation, but now players might require to ref some of the matches. And I replied being like, no, like, I'm not doing it. And I said, if I get asked, even if I win or lose, I refuse. And then they were saying, well, you can't refuse, you're not allowed. And I was like, oh my, like, this is crazy.
What would happen? What would happen if you just leave and not ref the net? They penalize you?
Maybe they would fine. I don't know how big the fine. I really think you could probably argue your corner there. You could say you had a flight, or I don't know, you could say anything really, but I think what people outside that Challenger Tour, they will see the difference in terms of professionalism, but the squash is right up there, and you see a lot of people that play World Tour events regularly, and then they'll have to play a 15, they'll have to come down to try and improve the level, and they could play all right, but they'll lose to some guys as well. And it is a dogfight, but we're not hard done by, because to get out of that, you need to be good enough. You need to be consistently backing up those 15Ks 3-4 times a year to get out, and then to get into your bronzes and silvers and get those wins. But yeah, I think there's stuff that just goes on that just don't know why it's getting accepted.
I see. Is there anything else outside of the refereeing nonsense that you might want to mention of the nonsense?
Um, I think someone on site, like a PSA representative. There's been a lot of issues that probably someone needs to be there because something's happening now, and there's no one like this is there's no one to go to. Um, that's a big thing. I know again they'll say it's cost, but you know you need someone there. Like if something happens, you need something there. Um, but that's not taken away. There is some Challenger Tour
Hmm.
events that are run brilliantly, and I've been to a few that have felt bigger than they are, and they've looked after you great. Um, so like, yeah, I've got to praise the ones that are really good, and especially in like America and Canada, you see some good ones, and they like host and they really look after you. So yeah,